Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Monday from everybody over at the DFS 5-pack. If you can, click the thumbs up on that video. Let's talk about today's NBA DFS slate. We got ourselves a Monday nighter. Not a big one, not a small one, just kind of one of those in-betweeners.
Yeah, good way to put it. Not a big one, not a small one. Just a regular size slate, if you will.
Respectable size. That's what I'm used to. All right. As you can see, I'm going to talk about a guy today that not normally a monster fan of, but he's been playing well, so I'm excited to get into him here in a little bit. Most of you guys know by now we took a 1-week ban on YouTube, courtesy for whatever reason they didn't give us. So sub to the backup channel. That's where you can find us if this ever happens again, and also we will be dabbling in some sports betting talks over there. But today's show is brought to you by our good friends over at Drafters. We are going to do a Drafters video a little bit later. I think it's one of the best kept secrets within the DFS industry. I think we've brought this up a lot, but it's fun. I have a genuine good time when we draft with our customers. We're going to do one of these later. We got a handful, though a dozen guys that draft with us almost on a daily basis. Sign on up using the promo code DFS5pack. Have a good time with us. It is fun. These are our screen names up here. And I want to show you, I ran one of these $22 three-person contests last night. And my favorite thing about this is the last game was my Bucks, and I was fortunate enough to have Giannis on it. So when I'm watching Giannis ball in the second half, I'm the only one that has him. I'm not with 70% of the field with him. I have Giannis. He's my guy. I am cheering on him like gangbusters. He grabs a couple of late free throws that puts me into the lead in this one. I love the fact that when you play on drafters and you get a guy, it's just you. It's not everybody else with him.
Agreed. Gotta love that, man.
You know what I mean? So it's not none of this crossover stuff. Anyway, as far as the current 5-pack promotions go, guys, it is monthly memberships right now. The top 5 reasons to get a monthly membership through the DFS 5-pack. Lock in that $30 price point for as long as you want it. Monthly prices are going up this week. Monthly customers now have access to the Discord channel. Get a $20 rebate on month 1. You will get that right away. You're all set up for when we got 2 sports rolling in a month, and you get the dailies, members-only videos. All this is available through the website right next to the day passes. Subscribe to the station if you're new to it. Now let's talk about today's plays, and I'm going to talk about the guy that's on the cover, a guy that I'm probably a bigger fan of today than almost ever, and that is Chris Paul. He is in a top-tier matchup against Dame and the boys today, so it's a really, really good spot for him against a team in Portland that's all offense and no defense. See the game log. Paul is balling right now. Just playing phenomenal basketball, both real life and DFS. He has been really good in all games that have been close recently, and I expect this to be a close game. I think this one's going to go be competitive for 4 quarters, so I think I get 4 quarters of Chris Paul. I think you're going to get upside right here. I think he's going to be lower owned than another point guard in his same precipice right there, and I actually like him a little bit better than that guy, but I think the good answer here is play 2 to 3 point guards today, and he's going to be one of them for me.
Man, there is a lot to like about Chris Paul here. Again, I'm usually the bigger fan from a DFS perspective, but I completely get why you like him here. I mean, insert point guard against Portland here. Good spot for him against Dame, kind of a get-up spot. Remember, you got 2 of the upper echelon point guards going against each other. In a game we expect to be really tight and competitive. He looks good here. Not a must or a lock for me, but there aren't that many locks on this slate for me, so I completely understand why you like him here.
Yeah, and part of this might be I started getting a lot more on Russell Westbrook Saturday night and really, really liking the spot for him. I told everybody to play him in GPPs over LeBron, and that was big. I feel very similarly about Chris Paul as I did Russell Westbrook. I expect production like that based on price. Like, I don't think he's going to give you 60 like Westbrook did, but I think it's a similar type of reasoning as Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook are now have more similar games than ever as far as what it is that they kind of do. And, Paul's 3 quarters of the price. I expect about 3 quarters of the production.
I get that. Completely agree.
All right, next up, you wanted to talk about LeBron today. One, there's the Washington factor. But my favorite part about this one, and this is coming from you, who is GPP, you like sleepers, you like low-owned guys. But I love the fact that you want to talk about LeBron and GPPs today, because I think one of my favorite things about this, if you like a guy, it doesn't matter if he's 99% or 1%. Play him because you think he's going to crush in a good spot.
Yeah, and if you like him that much and you don't want anyone else to have him, go play drafters.
Yeah, good point.
As far as LeBron goes tonight, I'm with you. It doesn't matter how high owned he is. I don't think he'll be high enough owned. Crush spot for him against the Wizards. I love picking on Washington. I've mentioned this multiple times. Who doesn't like picking on Washington? Coming off back-to-back losses. We mentioned this on our members only video. We both expect this to be a game competitive. Washington's winners of 3 in a row, 4 in a row, maybe. Lakers losers of back-to-back games. This game it sets up to be competitive. In competitive game against the Wizards, give me all the LeBron. Massive upside in this spot. I look at this as a game where he puts his foot down and does what it takes to keep the Lakers in this game and eventually get them the W. Man, especially on a slate where there aren't a ton of guys I like. I can't imagine not playing LeBron here, but that's just me.
So we talked about the Blazers-Wizards from Saturday night. It was a great game for DFS, and I liked the Wizards in that game. I played Westbrook, and I played some Beal. I played some Robin Lopez, who we'll talk about here momentarily. But I think the side part about this, and I bet the Wizards to win that game. The flip side of that is think about all the Blazers who had good DFS games against the Wizards. Dame was amazing again. Trent was solid. Rocco, who was your X factor on the night, was fantastic. Canner was decent again, like pretty good. They just had a variety of guys who came out with like good scores. You can put up DFS points against the Wizards. That part has been established. Even though the Wizards are playing better, you still put up DFS points against the Wizards.
Amen.
All right, next up, we're going to talk about our mutual favorite play for the day. Justice Winslow of the Memphis Grizzlies. Again, I don't look at this as like a must or anything like that, but early in the day, he is one of the cheaper guys getting industry love. This is something that you said that holds true. He's just better than a 3,600 player. He played, I think, 21 minutes on Saturday night, and we do not look at him as being a byproduct of all those guys resting. He is planned to be a regular part of the Grizzlies rotation. I don't think he sees significantly more minutes today after he'd been out for a long time, but this is a guy who's a good rebounder. He shot 3 of 14 the other day. That could definitely be improved upon. I think most people would agree on that. There is no Dillon Brooks today. He's only 3,600. He gets to go up against a Dallas team that hasn't played in a while. And where that can help him is they might be a little bit discombobulated. And Justice Winslow is actually a pretty good theft artist.
Yeah, he is. He actually didn't do anything in his first run last game either. Came into all his DK points in the second and third run. Again, mentioned it. We talked about it on the members only video. I said it. He's just a better player than this price tag implies. Again, he's coming back from major injuries. Hadn't played in a while. I like that he got his feet wet last game, kind of dipped his toes in the pool. I'm with you. I expect him to be a part of their rotation. It's a little bit riskier than, maybe we normally would like because they do have guys back. We don't know how many minutes he's going to play. But you give me 15 minutes of Winslow here, I think he walks into value. Any more is gravy. Again, I like studs on this slate. There aren't a ton of guys. I think that, we've had multiple slates recently where there's so many good plays. I don't look at tonight like that. And at 3,600, he works as a filler.
I also expect a good effort from Memphis.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people played their cheap guys on Saturday and they made sense. Memphis just played terrible. And they were on a back-to-back. They were missing some of their better players. They had John and Jonas, but they were missing a bunch of their other good players. They pooped the bed. They played terrible. Sometimes teams just play terrible. And I don't think it was anything more than that. Just a terrible effort. I would expect a better effort tonight.
Agreed.
All right, next up, let's move on over to our long shots of the day. And I'm going to piggyback off of one of our 5-pack heroes from Saturday night. That was Robin Lopez. I got scared, though. One of our longtime customers had what looked like a nice lineup, in my opinion, but he had Wagner over Robin Lopez. And then Wagner played, and then Alex Len came in, and I was sitting there very, very scared that I gave some very, very bad information. Fortunately for me and for Ben, Robin Lopez did come in back in later in that game, and he played very, very well. Came close to 10Xing in that spot. And why I like him today is a lot about the matchup. No, the Lakers are not like a crush spot. However, people get up to play good teams. And the Lakers, not as good right now without AD and Schroeder, are still a team that people get up to play their best ball against. And while I can see games where they want to establish Wagner, maybe give Len some run, I think it's a big deal for the Washington Wizards to try to win this game tonight, to give LeBron James and the Lakers their best shot. And I still think right now their best center is Robin Lopez. He doesn't have the upside as the younger players, but he gives them the best chance to win right now. And I would be surprised if the Wizards coming in off of winning 4 straight against, a legendary team like the Lakers don't try to win this game with their best players, who in my money is still Robin Lopez at the center position. He's a pro's pro.
Agreed. I think that the Wizards kind of recognize that too, even though they're giving, those young guys a little bit of run. Lopez seems to be the constant guy that's getting, around 20 minutes a game, and if not more. Yeah, I like this game. I don't love a lot of guys on this slate, as I've mentioned a few times. So if you want the studs in this game, which I do, you're going to have to roster some cheaper pieces. He works in that type of roster build. He just is another guy, works as a filler piece. And yeah, I like him quite a bit after he did us well the other night.
Do you remember what you had him for ownership perspective? I know I had him in, I think I played 4 GPPs Saturday night and I had him in 2 of them. And yeah, from my best memory, it was like 3%.
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember exactly, but something like 3% sounds right.
Now, it might go up a little bit today, but I would still expect it to be in the single digits. The people will see the game log. There's not as much cheap value early in the day. And also, center isn't as strong as normal. There's no Embiid or Jokic you feel like you have to play on this one.
Amen.
All right, next up, Isaiah Roby. So this could either be a long shot or a chalk play. It's hard to say early in the day. We don't know if Horford plays. Even if Horford plays, does Roby start? I have no idea.
Yeah, we don't know. So it's a long shot as of right now, 12:27 Eastern. OKC in a tough spot. They played well last night, beat a bad Cleveland team. Now they got to come back home off a long road trip, get a Miami team that looks good right now. We discussed this. We think that there's a high probability that a couple guys from OKC sit, namely Al Horford, maybe Shy. But if Horford's out, like you mentioned, Roby will become, a chalk power forward at 4,900, and I like him a lot. Again, I think power forward's really weak. There aren't that many guys I have desired to roster, so Roby works there. I also think he works if Horford's in because of what I just said. Power forward's pretty weak. I think this is a bad spot for OKC. I could see them getting rolled here, and Roby will get extra run in that situation. So he's a must to me if Horford's out. I don't think he's like the lock of all locks because his price is up. For me, he's a guy I'll use if Horford's out, and he's a guy that I have tournament interest in if Horford's in, because of what I just spoke on.
Yeah, Horford will be the first guy losing his minutes in that scenario, which would you be piggybacking on, and he'll be like a true, like 1% long shot.
For sure, no doubt.
So, take that from what you will. I thought it was an interesting discussion to have today because he's a guy who could be literally 50% today or 1%, depending on how things break out. I don't really expect Al Horford to play. He hasn't played on back-to-backs this year, so not saying that won't change today as the season progresses. Also, Oklahoma City coming off another win might want to keep it rolling, so it's possible. But I think the likely scenario is he's not out there.
Yeah, agreed. OKC is not a playoff team. I mean, I'm sure they're going to be trying to unload.
What?
Yeah, I know you love your OKC Thunder over there. I know you love them, but sorry, Ryan, they are not a playoff team.
I respect bad teams that fight, and I will say Oklahoma City is a bad team from a talent perspective. We both agree Shy has got star potential and stuff like that. And I like some of their younger pieces, but I know they have 4,000 draft picks over the next 2 years and they're building something, but they're devoid of talent compared to some of the other NBA teams. But I respect that they play up to their competition. They've won some good games this year. I find that to be a respectful thing for a team like this who just isn't as good as most of the other NBA teams.
No doubt.
So I respect that a lot more than like a Boston Celtics team that's got 2 young studs in Tatum and Brown, but is now sitting around a 500 record.
For sure.
And just tanked against Zion on the boys yesterday, big time.
Yeah, what a bad loss.
Yeah, I told you yesterday when we went through sports betting stuff that I wanted to bet the underdog Pelicans in the day. And then before I took my kids sledding, I was thinking about putting some money on the Celtics instead. And then I just nope, don't do anything. Just go sledding with the kids. You don't need to be watching this game on your phone or anything like that. I still don't know where I would have gone to actually place the bet, but it would have been a highly emotional game, no matter what you decided to do right there.
No doubt about it.
All right, guys, good luck today. Pound that thumbs up button, grab those monthly memberships, and we'll see you guys later for some drafters.
Thanks, guys.